Alrighty, everyone. Uh, I think that, if you have any familiarity with ORD or with inroads, everyone's seen what a template looks like. Um, the template library, generally speaking, hasn't changed a ton. There are some new tools that we'll be touching on today. Um, but it shouldn't be too daunting. It's going to look the same. The interface is going to look all the same as that. One thing that we're trying to focus on a little bit in sort of the material development that we're doing with CDOT is consistency. I think that's kind of been the theme of these presentations throughout this whole series. We have put together some naming conventions that we think will, encompass sort of the 80% of what everyone needs for projects and design. This is still a tool that's in development, but generally speaking, we want to make sure that when you jump into a template, you know what you're looking at. We'd like to help develop some names that mean specific things, and some sort of like succinct ways of naming components and points within those templates. To that point, this is a spreadsheet that I've been working on with Jeremy and with Sahar. We're kind of developing it as it goes. This is a very high level look, still in development, but developing sort of a series of codes that we can use to name points and name components, so that when you click on a component or click on a point and you look at its name, you know what it's meant to represent. This is just sort of, like I said, general high-level stuff, everything from how to name an edge of pavement, to caring about that a wall is an MSE wall, or, when we get into parametric constraints, naming your parametric constraints consistently, so that when you go to work with those in your corridors, that it's easy to figure out what you're trying to control with those parametric constraints. You can see with some of these sort of example templates I've put together that we're trying to name everything in sort of that particular order of, potentially what the class is. In this case, we're looking at like a design surface, what side we're looking at, what the actual point represents, and then started getting into like the more specific things for that point. The material, which particular lift of that material or particular layer of that material we're looking at. I think that's kind of an overview of the naming conventions. Sahar, if you can stop the recording, we'll take some questions.